Well, hello people, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we're going to have a look at the 1.2.4 patch alongside the 3 new content creator packs that are releasing for Cities Skylines 2, alongside some new features that are being added to the game. And also my general opinions and thoughts and feelings on the news that has arrived with the 10th anniversary of Cities Skylines, including Cities Skylines 1 receiving new DLC, which we'll talk about next week, but also the fact that they now have a DLC subscription model akin to the Paradox strategy games. We'll talk about that today as well. But without further ado, let's get stuck into the free patch assets. So with this patch arrives 10 new parks, all of which, of course, can be found within your parks menu across parks, large parks, and sports parks as well. So you better like Chirper for these assets, because they are very heavily branded with Chirper. First of all, we have the Chirplet Park, nice little kids playground here, new swings, and these little kind of like rock back and forth chirper chairs, very fun. The Chirper Park is next door, which is much bigger and very heavily branded with Chirper, but it does look like we're getting new slides, trampolines here. I love these little tables and the gazebos. So hopefully all these will become ploppable props at some point with the mods as well. Chirper Adventure Park is next door. All similar themes here, same assets repeating, just in various different shapes, sizes, and formats. Next door to this is the Chirper Funtime Complex. Generally just keep kind of growing in size, don't they? But all the same vibes here. There's also pigs and cows in here as well. I guess to function as probably as a bit of a pet into, I imagine. Probably a little bit small for cows, but that's okay. They can also seemingly just wander out as well, but that's fine. There are also some pathways on here as well, and we can draw out from them, which is very good news. So you can integrate this into wider spaces. Activity playground next door, very bright. It's also got a cute little kind of scooter racetrack around the edge as well, which is quite fun, with some new playground assets in there as well, which we'll hopefully get a hold of too. The hilly playground is next door, which has a little bit of terrain in it, a little bit of a gazebo and a slide and a kind of a tunnel for the children to play in. Quite a lot of fun. Again, hoping the little gazebo and the wooden props become available to us as props as well, with yet more playground assets ready to be developed. The playground lives up to its name, kind of a playground, isn't it, really? With more climbing assets on there. I love the little climbing mesh around the light as well, quite fun that one. Nice little park, basketball centre next door, just a bit more of a chunkier, girthier basketball court, isn't it? You get 2 of them with some stands next door. Nice little asset, this one. With some car parking on the front. A dog activity park is also next door as well. Always happy for more dog parks. Definitely one of my most placed assets. Very nice, very dog friendly. Lots of grass, bushes, areas for sniffing and investigations, of course. For the doggos. And then last but not least, we have the park cafe, which is a bit of a kind of rotunda style building, but very nice nonetheless. Got kind of some grassy green cities roof action happening here as well. So with this patch, everyone will be receiving these 10 free parks. So always happy for new park stuff. You find them in your park tab. To the south of this, we have the first of the content creator packs that are releasing alongside this patch, which is the Dragon Gate by Emperor Lee. Very heavily Chinese inspired, as you would imagine, given the name. First of all, we'll check out the traditional Chinese temple, which is a tourist attraction. A very similar asset, actually, to what we had in Cities Skylines 1, wasn't it? From the Pearls of the East DLC, I believe, if my memory is served rightly. But nice surface work inside. Again, this pack is going to be super stylized, so I'll probably only recommend it if you're looking to kind of build kind of either Chinese-inspired cities, which would partner very well with the Chinese Creator Around the World pack, or if you're looking to kind of build Chinatowns within your non-Chinese cities, this pack would be good for you. There are 2 gates, both of which function as tourist attractions, but you could quite easily anarchy a road through these. So you've got small and large Chinese gates, both immaculately designed. Look at the texture work on that, isn't that fantastic? I'm not hugely familiar with Emperor Lee's work, but as a first impression, doesn't really get much better than that, does it? Look at the work on that, so good. So envious of these asset makers, they're so talented. And next door to this is the Grand Dynasty Hotel, which functions as a commercial unique building. Very big, very grand, super nice looking asset, isn't it? I think this is the one you could possibly use away from Chinese cities. It definitely just looks like kind of Chinese architecture, doesn't it? But wouldn't be totally standing out in another theme, I don't think. Quite nice. Really like this one. Nice, big, thick, girthy asset. Next door to this, we have the Chinese High School, which does have a single upgrade to it. Adds on some extension wings around the back. Nice car parking. Bit of a inner campus courtyard there as well. Very nice, this one. The rest of this pack is all low density commercial, which is very heavily Chinese, as you can tell. Regardless, that does not degrade from the pack. It is absolutely wonderful. Fantastic work again and again. Would just make the perfect assets for constructing a Chinatown, or if you're going full on Chinese city building. These will always be more than welcome, right? But I really actually like the addition of grey brick. I feel like that's a sorely missed aesthetic, isn't it, in CS? Very nice. Chinese writing, neon signs on top, and then the larger 6x6 numbers are significantly bigger and more stylized, aren't they? But still absolutely wonderful. Just such great work, as always, from this super talented CS community. So I've hidden the repeated meshes here as we plot them down, so you should see unique variations most of the time. Got the Dua shopping mall there as well. Much larger 5x5 and 6x6 assets coming in. So super cute. Again, big shout out to Emperor Lee for these. Just superb work. Definitely the most stylized, I think, of the packs we've had so far. But I think it'll appeal to a lot of people, this one. It's very nice. Love this one. I love all the balconies on this. Anyone ever played, I think it's Hitman Contracts. There's a mission where you have to snipe a guy in, I think it's Shanghai or Beijing maybe. And there's a building you go into that looks a lot like this. Also, let me know if there's any Hitman fans in the comments. Probably not, probably not. But texture of the brick change up here as well. I love the little Chinese lanterns that are here too. Very nice. More balconies, more frontages. The building falling back and away from the pavement is always something I really like to see. Gives much more depth to your streets. A real nice building here, isn't it? Look at that. Nice and big. So you kind of get the general impression with them, right? Just kind of change up a bit more here. I love the little, I want to say pergola, but I'm not entirely sure if that might be Japanese actually. I'm probably getting my cultures mixed up there, aren't I? This is a gorgeous building. This is probably my favourite. You could definitely fuse this together, couldn't you? Make kind of 2 or 3 of these together to get a bit of a municipal service building, a bit of a palace or something like that. This one in particular definitely is super stylized, isn't it? I love this little kind of tower off to the right here. Looks like the temple, doesn't it, from Cities 1. And then all these little commercial buildings come back in. Very nice indeed. So just superb work. Love this one too. Love the balconies on this one, the little railings on the top of the roof. Lots of signage with lots of Chinese vibes. So absolutely wonderful. Look at that one too, isn't that great? Another building that's begging to be fused, I think. Super fantastic. And then that brings you to the end of them there. So with the non-hidden meshes, you'll probably get some more asset variation, just, you know, slightly different props or arrangements of things around the building. But otherwise, this is a pretty decent pack. It's very stylized. If you've no interest in sort of Far East Asian architecture and buildings, and you don't really get much use out of those sort of assets, you probably won't get a lot of use out of the Dragon Gate. If you do, then by all means, fill your boots. South of this, we have Mediterranean Heritage by Zarex. So we'll start here, where we have the Imperium Palace, which is one of the unit buildings. Very nice indeed. It's an apartment. Very cute. You'll find that, of course, in your signatures here. Next to this, we have the Mediterranean Elementary School. Very nice. Reminds me a lot of the south of France, this kind of stuff. Of course, has the usual school extension. As a note to this now, the amount of service buildings we have from these packs is just insane, absolutely mental. With the universities and all the schools we have, there's so much asset variety in service buildings these days. It's kind of mental actually. Mediterranean High School next door, which you can add another floor onto it, which of course is your classic additional floor capacity upgrade. It's also got a little football pitch in the middle of the courtyard too. Very tasteful indeed. Yeah, I think when you get this sort of perspective here, right, it really screams kind of sort of south of France, Monaco vibes, doesn't it? That definitely Mediterranean coast sort of feel to it. Mediterranean Police Station is next door, which has a garage and jail extension, which really changes the back of the building, actually. And without that, it's kind of quite grassy. With that on, the building really changes on the inside. But another wonderful building, nonetheless. One that looks like you could possibly fuse these together, right, to create more larger municipal service buildings. Very tasty indeed. We have the Mediterranean train station, which might be my favourite in the game now. I know there is... Again, absolutely tons of train stations these days, with all the choice we have. But I don't think I've even got all the packs turned on here, actually, in this playset, so you're probably not even getting the full impression there. Extra platforms, and also a train shed, which is rather nice, isn't it? Look at that. Love the glass cover. I hope we get this as a prop. This would be great for building custom stations out if we can get this as a sub-building, maybe. That'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? But you are getting, what's that, 5 lines at the end there. Lots of platforms. Nice sort of detailing on the edge there. It's actually steps directly onto the station, isn't it? So you could really expand out this surface work here and do some pretty impressive things around the Mediterranean train station. Beautiful asset. And we then have the Seven Hills residence, the Vesuvius Palace, and the Villa Antica, which are all your signature buildings for residential signatures. They're not too sort of signature building looking, actually. You could definitely mistake these as zoning, but I suppose they're nicer ways to sort of just embellish your zoning with signature buildings if you want. Again, with them being signatures, you can only place one of them, so modders, you're going to want to use find it and move it to duplicate these, I think. We then come into the zoning, which is all medium density residential. And they're all very nice, again, all very much within their theme. Will partner very well with a lot of the French packs, the German pack, the base game European theme as well. You can create some really varied custom districts now, kind of going for the European theme, you know, blending all those creator packs together. And these will be very welcome for creating more European blocks. I think with these Creator Around the World packs and the Content Creator packs, which are two different things, don't forget, the Creator Around the World packs were the free stuff we've been getting for the last few months. And these are paid Content Creator packs like we had in CS1 and with the modern architecture stuff that we had last year as well. So you can create some really varied European cities these days in CS. It's definitely a build option now without any, I guess, unofficial custom assets from the current non-existent asset editor. But all very nice, aren't they? Really hits kind of the French-Italian vibe, doesn't it? Which I guess is definitely the theme of the pack. South of France, North Italy, etc. Very, very tasteful. Love the balcony. I always love a balcony for some reason on these buildings. I find them very nice. Different levels and heights too, getting some pretty decent variation, especially when you look down the line like this, don't you? There's a tornado in the background there too. I hope that doesn't destroy my plopping today. But yeah, really nice, just great texture again. Like, look at the brick, especially when you get up close. The detail on these is insane. Now that my CS2 has all the packs and all the Creator Around the World packs, pretty much everything ever released, it's now taking up 90 gigabytes, which you can see why. Because these textures are beautiful, but my goodness gracious, are they taking up a ton of file size. 90 gig for CS2 is insane, considering how much smaller CS1 was. So anyway, that will do it for the Mediterranean Heritage by Zarix. Definitely recommend it if you're into European vibes. If you don't like building European style, you will not get a lot of use out of this pack. I personally like this one. I love the service buildings, especially the train station. I'm not a massive European builder, so I probably won't get a ton of use out of the medium density stuff, but I'll use it at some point, I imagine. And then lastly, we come on to Leisure Venues by Greenie, which is a collection of unique sports parks and venues, really. It's really cool. You can see we've got kind of commercial there, then there's parks, more commercial, sports parks. So a really interesting pack, this one. I'd say this is definitely the best of them all. Probably the best, I think, paid pack with CS2 at the minute. This introduces some really interesting buildings. So we have the Apex Climbing Center. So you see this, it's just functioning as a park. It provides indoor recreation from a simulation perspective. Has the little climbing wall on the front as well. I don't think we're going to see Sims climbing up and down here. That would be very welcome if they did, but I don't think that's an animation that's ever going to arrive, unfortunately. I think it's something CS2 really misses at the moment, is people interacting with the buildings like we had in CS1. I'm hoping that we'll see them climb someday, but probably not in a creator pack, I imagine. Right next door, we have some commercial, which is the Apotheke. Am I pronouncing that right? Probably not, but good vibes and cocktails, etc. It's commercial, it's a bar, it's a leisure venue, it's got egg chairs in it, so 10 out of 10 from me. Really cute, really nice. Nice little commercial embellishments. Same with the Canopy Cafe next door. They're just so much more interesting, aren't they, than kind of base game zone commercial, these assets. Really, really nice. A bit of signage at the back with some parking too. And a lovely kind of modern angular buildings there, isn't it? Actually very inspiring for something like Satisfactory or The Sims maybe. Following a lot of these build templates. We have the Cinevista next door, which of course is a cinema. So just having these, you know, bars, climbing centres, cinemas, sports parks, great additions to the game, I think. So this one is very nice indeed. We've even got some posters here as well. What can we see? Bumpers to Bumper, The Quest for a Way Out. The Lamplighters League. Wasn't that a Paradox title? That actually didn't do very well. I think it was, wasn't it? Oh, they're all Paradox titles. Prison Architect, of course. Stellaris. Yes, love Stellaris. Chirpy and the City. Is that a reference to Babe and Pig in the City, maybe? I'm not sure. Or Sex in the City? I'm not sure, actually. Reading too much into it, probably. Surviving Mars, of course, which a lot of these CS1 assets are based off of. The Railroad Revolution and Chirpy 2. Every city is nothing without it, I suppose. Kind of, is that Chirpy's evil twin? The crow? Is it the boreal crow? It looks like it could be the boreal crow, actually. I love the detail there. That's a very cute little reference. I love Stellaris, so happy to see that. Just let me know if you want a Stellaris Let's Play. I do enjoy Stellaris. We have Colour Plaza next door here as well, which is very colourful and a plaza. Some tables, signage, playgrounds, etc. Another basketball court in here. I would love to have that ploppable basketball texture. I love the colours on that. Very cute. The Corner Theatre is next door, which is very brutalist, isn't it? Goodness me. But very nice nonetheless. And again, it's nice to have an asset to stick on your commercial areas that just looks a bit chunkier, a bit more of a larger institution, larger business. Happy with that. Love the stairs around the front too. The Deep Blue Oceanarium is next door, so big aquarium vibes, so I guess an oceanarium. Is there a difference between an aquarium and an oceanarium? I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure the aquatic police will let us know down in the comments. Either way, lovely assets, function as high density commercial. What a lovely modelling on it, isn't it? There's quite a bit of a brutalist theme running between these buildings here, isn't there? I wonder if that was intentional from Greenie, not sure. The Eclipse Nightlife is next door, which looks absolutely wonderful. I love the signage, I love a brand. It always helps kind of, I think, add a lot more immersion to the city, I think. Happy with that. Parking and textures around the back. Superb asset. We have the Espresso on the go, which looks fantastic, doesn't it? Little drive-through coffee place. Be very welcome in your mall spaces, this kind of stuff, wasn't it? By highway rest stops and whatnot. As with this, the Fleur de Lis, which I think I'm pronouncing rightly. It's a tea salon, so you'd likely find Biffa in here, I imagine. Lovely stuff. Looks a bit like kind of an old sort of British seaside building, actually. The sort of place you'd buy Joey Deals from on Brighton waterfront sort of vibe, actually. And next up we have the Game Set Match building, which is a local sports centre. There's a mini golf course in here, which is fabulous, isn't it? Look at that. Hopefully these come as ploppable props. It would be great to make your own mini golf course, wouldn't it? Tennis courts, indoor centres, more tennis, and a little balcony here with stairs, which I love. Love that. So a nice little sort of commercial sports recreational spot. Gusto Gelato is next door, which I'm guessing is an ice cream spot. Again, just superbly modelled, isn't it gorgeous? So nice. Just, I love the this like wooden panelling on the front with the slots in it. Very, very nice. Parking next door to that, then we have a nightclub, the Horizon Lounge. I love the pink highlights here. That's very fancy, isn't it? So you've got Limsa Bar. It's very close to Ligma Bar, isn't it? It's dangerously close, actually. And yeah, just I love the pink neon highlights, actually. Very nice. Really like that. Very cute. And the black brickwork is very nice. Definitely stands out as a bit of a nightclub, doesn't it? You can immediately tell what that is. We have the La Coulerie d'Argent. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. But it is a gourmet restaurant. It definitely blends in with the European stuff behind us here, doesn't it? A bit of a standout, this one, really, compared to the rest of them. Super European vibes, but gated, so you can definitely pretend this is something else beyond a gourmet restaurant if you wanted to. We have the Majestic Cinema next door, which is real nice. Really like this. Got more of those posters on the bottom as well. Wonder why they chose Stellaris. What happened to Hearts of Iron? Crusader Kings. Why Stellaris? That's a really nice detail around the back. More of those signage posters on the front. Where we also have some writing on the entrance. Enjoy the Chirp Festival. Unlimited pass at $14. I'm not sure if that's in reference to something. Not entirely sure. Maybe that's going to be the DLC subscription at some point. Who knows? Mermaid's Tea Lounge is next door, which is a gorgeous little asset, isn't it? I love the little glass covers out here. Imagine the sort of place you'd sit out with. Bit of a shisha pipe and a heat lamp, isn't it? Very nice. Stairs out the back too. Fire escapes. Benches and textures, lovely stuff. Neo Barracks next door. Formerly a barracks, so a big converted army space. Which looks absolutely fantastic, doesn't it? Really, really nice. Love the brickwork on the texture there for this building. Absolutely fantastic. Love to see that. Then over here we've got the Nitro Kingdom. Which I guess I'm not sure what that would be. Maybe an indoor racetrack go-karting place, maybe? I would assume. Does it say? It does. It is karting. Yeah, what a guess. Lovely stuff. Yeah, so indoor go-karting. Very cool. In a big cubey building, lots of car parking around it. Love to see it. The Oasis Kitchen is next door. Definitely more of a European building here. Although I suppose you'd definitely see something like Florida or something, wouldn't you, I suppose? LA, etc. Looks more of a sort of tropical set building, doesn't it? But really like it nonetheless. It's functioning as commercial for you as well. The Pinfall Palace, bit of 10-pin bowling next door. Great building as well. Love the brick on the bottom and then kind of the paneling on the top. Very nice. Again, another brand is always so welcome for me in CS. So happy to see that. And usual industrial prop detailing around the back, bins and whatnot. The Riverside Grill is next door, which is fantastic. Really love this. Outdoor eating area, fountains, surfaces and textures. And the usual detailing around the back. I love the brick texture on this particular building, actually. Isn't that wonderful? And then that wood paneling. Very, very happy to see that. Really like that. Pretty asset, that one. The Shard Arena is next door, which is a Chungus, and our first real proper arena concert / stadium space for CS without having to do a custom one. I think there's a sore lack of those sorts of assets at the minute. I think the game is crying out for kind of a bad peanut sports venues pack, isn't it? These larger, chunkier buildings, because like sometimes you just want to place a stadium or like an arena without having to build it yourself. So I love seeing stuff like this. The entrance is stunning. I love the arches on there and the stairs and like the angular sort of balcony with the tiered grass. It's gorgeous. Really nice work, Greenie. Absolutely fantastic. With a woven wool sign on there as well. So nice big arena for your cities, conventions, concerts, etc. Whatever you want to pretend it's hosting. The Skylines Heritage Museum is here as well. Also got some signage, fetch and movie. I'm not sure what that reference is. But very nice nonetheless. Very modern, isn't it? Looks like a bit of an art gallery / museum space. So yeah, I really like that. Love the entrance too as well. You've got the ramps and the stairs. Lovely, lovely stuff. The Sports Hub Pavilion is next door, which has these little sort of cabin buildings around the back with some eateries. Very nice. Got the screen here as well so you can watch the big game and get leathered with your mates in the beer garden. Happy days indeed. And then a couple of tennis courts in there too, alongside a very angular sort of raw iron building, I suppose, isn't it? Like corrugated iron roof. But again, another kind of big events venue, right, to place in the city. I really like that. And then we come on to the sports park complex, which again is another stunning asset. It's got a skate park in here, some parking, 2 football pitches with some stands, more car parking, and then the main building itself. It looks beautiful. Really like it. Would partner probably very well actually with the sports hub pavilion immediately next door. Create a bit of a football training centre here. And probably embellish this one with your own placed football pitches too, to make it seem like a bit of a training centre really, right? Next door to this we have the steakhouse, which is functioning as a low density commercial. Really stunning brickwork on this. Again, look at the textures here. Isn't that beautiful? Just so incredible. A lovely little entrance here. You're very welcome at home on a street corner. The Sunset Brewery is next door, which has all the brewery vibes, kind of the big vats containing the hops and the fermentation, etc. All the usual beer production vibes. Very nice. I love the back of the building here too. Love all the different textures they've chosen here. Very sweet. The brewery functioning as high density commercial. We have the Dockyard Lounge Park next door, which again is a really nice asset, isn't it? Kind of open beer garden vibes. Another sports screen for watching the game. Super nice. Really like that. And another logo, which looks absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Established 2024, the Dockyard Lounge Park. I think it should say 25 probably, shouldn't it? Well, I guess Green has probably been making this since 2024, hasn't he? And then the Forum of Arts, which kind of looks like a train station, doesn't it? Really, really nice. Almost like a converted kind of old train house, isn't it? But super sweet. Originally a covered market, yeah, there you go, built in 1860. So definitely has that vibe, doesn't it? Yeah, really, really sweet building. You can imagine doubling this up, right, to make it much longer. I'll definitely be doing that, I think. And then this pack rounds out with the Lobster Tail. With refined maritime ambience. It absolutely does, doesn't it? Again, look at the logos. Fantastic, fantastic work. And I love the white paneling. Gorgeous building. That completes a really gorgeous pack, to be honest. I think if you're trying to decide which of these content creator packs to get, I would definitely get Leisure Venues first, then Mediterranean Heritage, and then Dragon Gate. That's not any kind of commentary on Dragon Gate, it's just very highly stylized, whereas this other stuff can be used across most settings, especially the Leisure Venues by Greeny. Really, really nice pack. Let me know what you think of them down below. Those are my thoughts on them. Let's have a look at the rest of the patch notes now. So I'll leave the full patch notes for patch 1.2.4 linked in the description below if you want to see everything that's changed. Otherwise, I'll pick out the key points of what is changing in this patch. A homelessness statistic has been added and integrated into your population view info. You can find this by coming to your infographics and hitting population. And you will now see rates for homeless and indeed the homeless rate. They've also improved the logic for citizens moving out to reduce the homelessness, with newly adult citizens now staying with their parents until they have a job. Starting money and suitable housing is available. If there is no housing available, they might move out of the city and become commuters, potentially returning if and when you make housing available. And the best solutions that you can offer to reduce your homelessness is by offering affordable housing for employed homeless people, and by providing jobs that matched unemployed homeless education levels. This is the third or fourth patch now where homelessness has been mentioned as a key feature, yet it still continues to be a problem, so let me know what sort of mileage you're getting out of these new homeless fixes. In terms of gameplay fixes and improvements, they have fixed issue with crime probability accumulation, and also some police patrols and jail prison availability displays, and police cars will now properly respond to criminals at a crime scene. They've also improved pathfinding for citizens walking through parks and vehicles at intersections. So hopefully you're going to be getting less last-minute lane changing now. And they've also fixed some issues with buses making unexpected U-turns and cars despawning in roundabouts. And there has also been some fixes with garbage accumulation in parks and service buildings, alongside issues with goods at empty warehouses. Alongside the 10th anniversary packs that we've already looked at the start of this video, there is now new game modes which you'll be greeted upon opening a new game. Both easy and normal are here. The main differences here is that pretty much everyone right now is playing on normal, with easy giving you double the amount of starting money, 6 times the monetary reward from milestones, more loans, no map tile upkeep, increased building refund amount, no building relocation costs, government subsidies are enabled, with lower pollution levels and lower service building upkeeps. So generally just a less stressful and much less involved simulation, especially with the economy on easy mode, whilst normal mode reflects the current version of the game, if you like, before this patch. I imagine at some point there will probably be a hard mode added to this, plus making it harder with half the starting money and no traffic despawning, etc. And maybe the other way as well, maybe a fully creative mode with no upkeeps, unlimited money, and just basically plop whatever building you want. That's how I would like to see this develop. I think Cities Skylines would benefit greatly from a fully creative mode, something akin to how Minecraft kind of manages it. Take out the survival simulation, economy simulation if you like, and replace it with a creative mode as an option to play a game. But you'll now notice this upon starting a new map. They have also made some changes to weather and terrain, including reduced cloudiness and rain by 20% on several maps. They also adjusted the water surface values for smaller, more realistic waves, and having looked at the water in this patch, it does look marginally better actually. And they have also tweaked the cliff and dirt colours on the map as well. You will also notice that the UI has entirely changed and the icons have all been updated. Rather than just being flat icons like they were before, they're now kind of on an angle with a slight kind of 3D depth to them. This is a very small improvement, but I admit I do like these new icons quite a lot. And when you come to place unique buildings, you will now also notice that these buildings have a new unique label to them, which indicates that they are unique and can only be placed once. If you want to see the full list of patch notes, I'll leave them linked down below. There's plenty of modding improvements, crash fixes, and changes to Paradox mods, so if you were having issues before, check out the full patch notes. Likely one of the issues you were having has been fixed with this patch. So this final element here of the 10th anniversary stuff of Cities Skylines 1 receiving a DLC subscription model, akin to the other Paradox games, kind of Hearts of Iron, Crusader Kings, Stellaris, all have a base subscription fee that you can pay monthly to gain access to all of the DLCs, and when you cancel this subscription, you lose all of these DLCs. And in response to this, they have asked that they looked at some questions that asked when they launched these subscription services for other Paradox games. So they're launching this service to make our largest Cities Skylines catalog more accessible. It will be launching on the 13th of March around 6 o'clock Central European time. If I already have a lot of DLCs, what do they get out of this? For a long time players, they're going to put on a special offer. Shout out to special offers down below that support the channel, Instant Gaming. If you want to get any of the DLCs that I'm to subscribe to them, you can help support the channel that way. Regardless, if you already have all the DLCs or maybe just a few of them and don't really want to subscribe, there's going to be a big sale so you can pick up whatever you're missing. You will not lose access to any of your existing content, and there will be no subscription-only content in the future. So this point here I find quite interesting. Does the subscription model signal the end of the development of Cities Skylines 1? As part of the 10th anniversary, they are launching 2 new content creator packs on the 25th of March. We'll cover those next week when that embargo lifts. And then this bit is quite interesting. If there's continued interest, we are open to bringing even more content in the future. So I guess it's kind of nice to get an official stance from Paradox and Colossal Order on what exactly the future of Cities Skylines 1 is. Essentially, if we're going to keep buying these content creator packs, then they are open to keep making them. Bit of a weird one really, considering, you know, CS1 is 10 years old this year, and Cities 2 is obviously having its issues that have been very well documented. I don't want to go into that here, as everyone knows by now. But yeah, I guess Paradox's stance on CS1 is if you keep buying things for it, then we will keep making them. So Cities 1 isn't dead and is still being supported by Paradox, I guess is the take-home point from this point here. I love this point. Who asked for this? We see this as an opportunity to provide our players with more options based on our experience with the Paradox games using this model. You know, many players are interested in experiencing the full game with all content without committing to purchasing every DLC. I'm not sure what happens in Cities Skylines when you lose access to these DLCs and you've used a network from one of those packs in a city. It essentially locks off that city until you either resubscribe or buy that specific DLC, because in Cities 1, a project will not load if it has a missing network. It outright crashes. So that's going to be quite interesting to see how people run into and handle that problem. Yes, you can still buy individual content on sale. And then they finish the article off by, is a subscription going to be an option for both Cities 1 and Cities 2, for which they reply no. We will only offer subscriptions on Cities Skylines 1 for now. I would assume at some point this will also come to CS2, but I haven't really seen much conversation about this. It wasn't really announced in much of a fanfare. It's kind of just slipped under the rug, really, with the 10th anniversary stuff. So let me know what you think of this, CS1 receiving a DLC subscription model. It's not the first time Paradox have done it, and I believe it has been actually quite well received with the grand strategy games, like we mentioned earlier, that Paradox also publish. So, quite interesting. Either way, let me know what you think of that one. Otherwise, that'll do it for our look at the patch, the free assets, and just the general hype and love around 10 years of Cities Skylines, which is pretty incredible. The game has had an enormous impact on my life. This game became my job during the COVID lockdowns, and still continues to this day. Cities 2, definitely on the mend, I think. Patches. The Creator Around the World packs have added an insane amount of variety to the game now. As I said, my full install with all DLCs and Creator Around the World packs is 90 gig, which is mental. It's so big. But there's certainly tons of variety in CS now. I don't think anyone can complain about a lack of assets. The main issue really relies, for me, in the visuals, and the performance of the game needs a lot of work, which hopefully we'll see as we head into 2025 with the asset editor and the console editions still being the most glaring issues with the game. Hopefully this year will hold promise for both of those points. I know they've said no asset editor or console version until at least after the summer, I believe was the quote, wasn't it? Which is a shame, but let's still hopefully get something this year for you console people. Otherwise, please share your thoughts and feelings on this milestone down below and let me know what you think of that subscription model too. And if indeed you will be taking advantage of it, I'd be quite interested to see. Massive shout out to the egg patrons with a roll call to our golden eggs: Andrew Perez, Louis Adlam, Phoenix MD, Oh Hey Casino, Bad Wolfo, and Wesley Kip. If you want to get involved in that, instant gaming patron down below. Otherwise, let's thank you all so much for watching. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.